Hi guys, we're going to talk about Bradley on a Budget. This is a TikToker who has been on my radar for a while, and you know, who is he? He's what I would call an extreme cheapskate, and he's gone on this money saving journey because he was in a bunch of student loan debt and saw some toxic relationships with money when it came to his parents and his upbringing, and he was sharing this journey. Student loan debt, went on this extreme change of how he saw money, and saves money to what I think is a little bit of a disturbing degree. But at the same time, I thought, you know what, there's enough influencers telling people buy this, buy that. If he's on the opposite end of the spectrum and he's not hurting anyone, then I'm here for it. And I would watch his videos, and I felt like, honestly, he got a lot of unfair criticism in the beginning. And the only piece of criticism that I would see on his videos was that he should have health insurance. And it's not going to be helpful if you have $250,000 saved in the bank, but you don't have health insurance, because all it takes is one thing, and surgery and hospital stay is going to wipe out all of your savings. So if you're in a position where you can afford health care, you should have health insurance. And that was kind of the only thing I saw that was like, oh, that's a red flag.
This is incredibly hard for me to talk about, and I am beyond embarrassed about it, but I guess it's time. So I have $147,000 of student loan debt, and I'm not a doctor, I'm not a lawyer, I went to culinary school. I was 17 years old when I was choosing what school I should be going to, and I had no guidance from my parents. My parents do not know how to handle money, they don't know how to manage money, they're irresponsible, and they're very defeated people, so they're in the mindset of just go into debt because you'll never win with money anyways. So 17-year-old me, who had no idea what I was doing, really no guidance from my parents, I decided to go to the best of the best because I thought if I go to the best school and I work hard, I will then end up with a great life. And that was an absolute lie. So I decided to go to the Culinary Institute of America, and I racked up over $130,000 in student loan debt for a 3-year bachelor's degree, which, if I'm being honest, and it's my opinion, I feel I was completely ripped off. I think it's absolutely criminal to take naive, hopeful 17 or 18-year-olds going to culinary school thinking they'll be the next one with the TV show because they're going to this fancy school, when it is an absolute lie. I graduated at 20 years old with all the student loan debt, hopeful that this magnificent, prestigious degree was going to help me create a great life, and it did the opposite. I stayed in the food industry for 5 years, and I made between $12 and $15 an hour with my world-renowned culinary school degree. This has been a nightmare. My life every day for the past 8 years has been nothing but an absolute living nightmare. I feel so stuck. I've been suicidal more times than I could even tell you. I have to do adult work now, which it's not that I'm not proud of it, but I am disappointed that this is what my life has turned into. I just realized I forgot to mention too that I paid off one loan for $25,000, and then I've made $900 monthly payments for over 7 years now, and my debt has only gone up. I basically live like I'm mentally homeless. I know people are going to go to my Instagram and think that I live this fantastic, wonderful, magnificent life. And if you think you know me, or if you think you know anyone from what they post on Instagram, I think you might need to go seek help from a therapist. I cook all my meals at home. My shoes literally have holes in them. I don't go to sleep with the heat on because I feel guilty to use electricity because it's going to rack up a bill. So I'm just drowning, and I really can't take it anymore. And no one's going to save me but me. So I just keep trying, and I stay hopeful that I'll get through this, but I don't know. I'm frugal and will do anything to save money, so welcome to another episode of Extreme Cheapskates, and I'll show you everything I did to save money last week. I sometimes forget to mop my floors, but I have this ever since I moved in. However, I always reuse the cleaning pad. I don't know if that's normal or not, but I don't see any reason to throw it out when you could just rinse it and reuse it, so I'll typically get like 5 uses out of it before I actually end up throwing it out. I don't know, to me it makes more sense to get multiple uses out of something instead of throwing it away after one time. Next, I'll try to charge my stuff anywhere. I've literally charged battery packs snacks in my shaver at work. I've charged stuff at orchestra practice or at the gym, anywhere there's an outlet. I don't run the heat in my apartment to keep the electric bill low. Sometimes I'll crack my door open to let the heat in from the hallway. Not for long, maybe like 10 minutes, but it's literally warmer in the hallway than my apartment. I cook all my meals every single day, and I always make sure that I clean my dishes at work. Can't imagine this is controversial. It just makes sense to me. If there's soap and sponges at work, you might as well utilize your resources. If I could use someone else's hot water and soap to save a little money, I'll do it. That's what being frugal is all about. And then also, anytime I dry off my dishes or I dry off my hands, I'll just keep the paper towel. I don't throw it out. Again, in my brain, this makes so much sense. I don't know why you would throw a perfectly clean paper towel just because it's a little damp. So I hold on to it, I let it air dry, and then I just use it at my apartment. Sometimes I'll grab one from the gym before I leave, and I've been able to build up quite the stash over the past few years. I've never had to buy paper towels. I was out with friends and I saw this toilet paper just chilling in the bathroom and said, "You're coming home with me." So it went into my toilet paper scrap bin. Okay, this one probably will be controversial, but I reuse tissues. But just hear me out. I find tissues to be pretty big, so instead of throwing it out after one use, I will just use a part of the tissue that was not used. I had a dog sitting gig last weekend, so you know, I unplugged my fridge because there's no reason to run my fridge for a week if I'm going to be away. Just like how you wouldn't leave a lamp running when you go on a vacation. But another way I save money on my electric bill is that I will keep my fridge set as low as possible, or keeps things just cold enough at a safe temperature. This next one is kind of random, but I heard if you don't put full pressure on the gas pump when you're filling your tank, you're putting less air into your tank, so you're getting more gas that way. Does that make sense? I don't know. I had to scan some documents and it was going to cost me $1 a page, and I said that's ridiculous, so I literally just scanned every single page with my phone and sent it through email. It was really a pain in the butt, but it saved me money. Always bring Tupperware to work because you never know when there's going to be a meeting with snacks. There actually ended up being enough leftovers that I did not have to cook, and I had that for dinner instead. When I'm at the gym, sometimes I'll shower because for one, I paid for it, and for two, I'd rather take a hot, long shower at the gym and not in my house, raising my electric bill. Speaking of showering, sometimes I'll just wash my hair in the sink instead of a full-blown shower, especially because my apartment is so cold because I don't run the heat. Sometimes it's just more comfortable for me to wash my hair in the sink. Ooh, who is she? Yes. Anytime I see things on the ground like paper clips or rubber bands, I'll grab them because I typically don't need them, but I always like to have a few on hand in case I do need them. Because why waste money on that stuff when you could just find it for free? Like, look, $4 for a pack of paper clips, that's stupid. I also will make sure I do not throw anything out until it is absolutely empty. Like, I was squeezing for dear life to get this toothpaste out. Then my lotion bottle felt like it was empty, but after I opened it up, there was still so much left in there. It just wasn't coming through the nozzle. So I always want to make sure I'm getting my money's worth and nothing's going to waste. My car has become as salty as my haters, but instead of paying for a car wash, I knew I was going to go over to my parents' house, and I honestly ended up just washing the car at their house. Of course, I asked them if it's okay, because if they said no, I wouldn't do it. I just take a couple trips, filling up the bucket with water and then rinsing off my car. Trust me, it's fine because I refuse to pay for convenience. And that's it. And for anyone who thinks this is rage bait, I've been living frugal since 2013, and it's not my responsibility for how you react to the way I live. Because believe it or not, I'm very happy this way, and honestly, at this point, wouldn't want to live any other way. Thanks for watching.
Is he one of the cheapskates that uses towels that look like they should have been tossed out 8 years ago? Yes. Does he hoard paper towels from restaurants? Yes. Has he said that he reuses Kleenex, which I think is gross? Yes. But at the same time, you're not hurting anyone else around you. And if you want to do that, then who am I to say, like, don't hoard paper towels, like, or don't re-gift things? I don't know. Like, he doesn't have kids. He doesn't have pets. If you want to sit up in your apartment and refuse to turn on the AC and the heat and you unplug your fridge when you leave, by all means. Like, it's a little weird, but that's what you want to do. He seems like a really hard worker. He works multiple side gigs, side hustles. He makes a fair amount of money on social media now that people are watching his content, obviously. I don't agree with him giving out financial advice because I don't think that he's somebody that should really be giving out that information in the manner that he has been. I think telling people to save money, that's one thing, but when you're making people feel extremely guilty for having a tough day and buying themselves a cup of coffee, if you're trying to get them to save money by calling them stupid for buying themselves a cup of coffee or a new lipstick or whatever, I just don't agree with the delivery. I don't know.
What we're not doing this year is being stupid with our money. Wake up! Wasting money is so last year. And you know who wastes money? Stupid people. But Bradley, I don't want to save my money this year. I don't care about being responsible. I just want to live for today and treat myself. Shut up! You worked last year and you have nothing to show for it because your bullshit spending is going to food. It's going to clothes that you don't need. Everything currently sitting in that shopping cart, delete! Get rid of every single thing that is going to cause you temptation to spend money. We're done. We're not doing this again this year. How's that credit card debt treating you that you're only paying the minimum balance on? How about instead of being caught up in the cycle of consumerism, we learn to be grateful for what we have instead of constantly wanting more? Let's stop being influenced by these stupid influencers who don't give a fuck about you. Stop trying to keep up with trends and trying to impress people. You're trying to keep up with the Joneses. The Joneses are broke. We are done wasting our money on bullshit. You have goals that you want to accomplish. You have financial goals that you want to achieve, and the constant online shopping, the constant impulse spending, not living on a budget, not cooking your meals at home. Wake up! I promise you, if you do not change your mindset, if you don't change your habits, if you don't develop discipline, and you don't start living by a budget, a whole year is going to go by, and you're going to be sitting exactly here a year later saying, oh, I wish I saved my money. I wish I started sooner. I wish I changed my ways. Wake up! I'm telling you, it could be so easy to win with money if you would just stop being an idiot! I'm so excited to announce I'm going to begin hosting webinars on the basics of budgeting. If you want to join, it's $10. The link is in my bio. Classes are starting in 2 weeks. Babes, we're winning with money this year and we're going to do it together because there is no truer flex than the flex of financial freedom.
But I want to talk about what put me on this side of I don't like this. He, a few days ago, announced that he is making merch. So don't buy yourself a coffee. Don't buy yourself a new lipstick. Don't, take yourself out to dinner more than once in a while. And if you have a gift card, then that's okay. But buy my merch. Now, one of two things is happening here. One, this is rage bait and it's an experiment to get a reaction out of people. Or two, he's actually going to be one of the biggest hypocrites that TikTok has seen in a long time because he's telling people that they're stupid for spending money, but hey, I'm coming out with merch and you should spend money on my merch, but nothing else. Don't spend money on heat. Don't spend money on buying the foods that you like. Don't throw away food. Don't waste a penny here or a penny there. But buy my merch. Do you guys see how hypocritical that is? Like I said, he's gotten some comments that I think were out of hand and not fair. But at the same time, if you're putting out content showing these nasty towels and at times questionable hygiene habits.
I've officially lived in my tiny little studio apartment for 5 years now, and as someone who's frugal and a minimalist, these are all the things that I have not replaced since moving in. For starters, my mattress. Yes, I got this college dorm mattress and the bed frame for free when I moved in. People think this is bad. It's not as bad as you think. It has a little squish to it, and I actually do like a firm bed. And did I mention it was free? I haven't replaced any of my towels because they're fine and they're functional. One of my bath towels, unfortunately, ripped in the dryer the other day. While we're in the bathroom, I have not replaced the little floor mat because why would I? It is to be walked all over. I've had these to-go containers, which have been perfect for storing my chicken. You guys know I basically eat chicken and potatoes for lunch and dinner. Also, while we're at it, I've had the same cutting board since I moved in. Anyways, these containers have been super helpful for me to store my chicken and keep it fresh in the freezer. My curtains are actually bed sheets. In the bed set that I got with the mattress that I got for free, came with 2 sets of twin-size bed sheets. I said, fuck it, I'm gonna use them as curtains. It gets the job done. Next, I've had this hamper for I don't even know how long, maybe since like 2019. I don't care that it's raggedy and falling apart. It gets the job done, so shut up! I've been using these same 2 pans since I moved in. I've kept them in pretty good condition, to be honest. I only cook my food on a low temperature, which is why I think the pan has been able to hold up for so long. Also, I still have the same dish drying placemat thing since I moved in. Yes, it has a couple flaws, but who gives a shit? Dries my stuff and gets the job done. Also, this is the only plate that I have. I've literally had it since college. Again, no need to replace something that gets the job done. I still use the same water filter since I moved in. Honestly, I just respect my stuff and I take really good care of it. which is why I think everything's been able to last so long. Finally, I still have the same 2 cleaning supplies that I've had since I moved in. Not fancy or glamorous, but again, as everything else, it gets the job done. While we're at it, let's give the mat a good vacuum. Just a reminder to stop looking for reasons to throw things out and learn to be grateful for what you have.
And then yesterday I saw that he has like pink eye or a sty or something going on his eye, and you have no health insurance. At a certain point, like, people are going to be with you until they're not with you anymore. And at this point, I no longer support him in the way that I did a couple of months ago when I first came across his content. Because I thought, hey, you know, it actually does make sense. Like, we don't need to be buying 18 body washes and spending money all the time on restaurants, you know, 4 or 5 nights a week. Like, let's be a little smarter, especially in this climate that we're in. But if you're telling people to be smart with their money, but then you're telling them to spend money on your merch, all while you've been putting out this frugal lifestyle of spending even an extra penny is stupid. Like, he literally calls spending money stupid. So I don't really know what's going on with him, but I want to know from y'all, have you seen him? Do you follow him? Do you not support him? How do you feel about the hypocrisy of all of this? How do you feel about kind of the way that he's delivered his message? Do you agree with me where it's like, yeah, save your money, but have health insurance just in case there is a medical emergency? You know, if you want to unplug your fridge and do all that kind of weird stuff, that's one thing. But at this point, it's giving greed. It's giving $300,000 in the bank is not enough. So now I'm going to put out merch so that I can make more money. It's just not sitting with me very well. And I wanted to kind of gauge y'all and see how you feel. So for now, if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.